Welcome to Unit 3. This unit, we will have the elements and principles of art. Are you ready? In this lesson, we are going to learn about auditory arts. An artist in the world of art has to work hard in order for him to have the drive to satisfy need to express or communicate on how he feels or reacts on something. About his different everyday experiences, or about his emotions towards somebody. Moreover, his view on his environment affects his perception on the principles of shapes, textures, and colors. What is music? According to Gaeta, 2010, music is a form of art that comes from the Greek word musica and by way of Latin musica. For the Greeks, any form of art and sciences that were governed by the would mean musica. Since ages, music has been captioned as the language of the soul. In fact, it has been popularly known that music is the medium used in order for humans to express and communicate about their experiences, emotions as they are accompanied by the musical instruments and human voices. As Fernandez, 2009, wrote, people can express their thoughts, aspirations, frustrations, success in music. Man's way of life is revealed in music. Music and noise or ordinary sound can sometimes be interchanged. However, there are specific ground that makes the two really different in the real sense of the word. The vibrations of musical sounds are uniform and synchronous. On the other hand, when the sounds produced become irregular, thus asynchronous. If this happens, noise is produced. Both art and music are inherent basic functions of humankind. Moreover, in this symbiotic cycle, art and music perform interdependently in which one cannot function without the other. Whatever the interaction with sound is, this becomes unavoidable music to be a part of human existence, thus it becomes significant of man's life. In addition, music is felt for enjoyment, the emotional response, performing, or creating. To better understand music, it is helpful to consider the general characteristics of music as they are manifested in its elements. The first element is pitch. As defined in the book An Eye for Art Appreciation, Perception and Expression, pitch would mean a musical note produced heard by anyone either through a musical instrument or a human voice. Specifically, pitch means the sound's highness and lowness of tone. As added by Tabitabo in 2013, pitch would also mean the place of tone in the musical scale. Anybody can identify pitch when the produced sound and frequency have clarity and stability, otherwise it is called noise. Music and noise or ordinary sound can sometimes be interchanged. However, there are specific ground that makes the two really different in the real sense of the word. On the other hand, when the sounds produced become irregular, thus it is asynchronous. If this happens, noise is produced. Sound is actually a sensation which is pleasant and soothing to the ears to those who will listen to it, while noise is unpleasant. We also have rhythm. Rhythm is observed everywhere and every day. It gives us the sense of movement. We can sense rhythm in the movement of the waves, in the ordered progression of seasons, much more with the beating of our hearts. Like our heartbeat, rhythm is the most basic element of music because the rest of the elements cannot be possibly exist without it. Technically, it is not just a pattern but more of repetitions accord with the varying degrees of emphasis or accent that can heighten emotion and tension. As an art form, rhythm becomes the movement in music. It provides the time duration of tones and accent, shows the tone arrangement including silence, so that a regular movement is produced. Moreover, a specific music then is played along with the regular rhythmic pattern. This regular pattern is called beats. Another one is the timbre or texture. The element timbre is popularly known as the music's tone color or the color of music. Human voice possesses unique tone color. In a broader sense, according to Fernandez, in a musical composition, timbre means the thickness and thinness of sound segments. Texture needs to be changed time to time to create variety. The variation brings forth expression of the content to a musical piece. The said variation can also bring out the dramatic effect in the different parts of the musical piece. The absence of variation produces monotony to the musical piece. Timbre is associated with the quality of the sound. The quality of sound depends largely on the musical instrument's size, shape, and form. Aside from these mentioned factors, the venue where the musical performance is done matters in achieving quality sound. Technology can provide a place for acoustic purposes in which fidelity is high. In this sense, the musicians and group performers will be able to provide quality sound. According to Clayton, texture is likened to a fabric in fabric. Just like fabric, texture is created by the materials used to weave the fabric. Similarly, in music, texture has combined layers of sound and the relative function of those layers in a piece of music. The most simple and most basic texture of music is called monophonic texture. The word comes from Greek and literally means one sound. This texture involves only one musical layer, which is called melody. We also have the next type of texture. Heterophony has only one melody with different variations. This can either be sung or played at the same time. This texture is mixed or multiple similar versions of a melody performed simultaneously. In addition, this can heard in some Middle Eastern traditional music. Most modern composed music, even from these cultures, has little or no heterophony, in which singers and/or instrumentalists perform the same melody at the same time, but give it different embellishments or ornaments. Some examples featuring heterophony: children simultaneously singing 3 different children's songs that are set to the same tune, Ba, Ba Black Sheep, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, and the alphabet song. We also have polyphony. In this texture, one independent melody is occurring at the same time. Polyphonic music is produced. Polyphony can also be called counterpoint, or contrapuntal music. Some of the examples of polyphonic texture are rounds, canons, and fugues. Even if there is only one melody, if different people are singing or playing it at different times, the parts sound independent. Much Baroque music is contrapuntal, particularly the works of J.S. Bach. Most music for large instrumental groups such as bands or orchestras is contrapuntal at least some of the time. Music that is mostly homophonic can become temporarily polyphonic if an independent countermelody is added. Think of a favorite pop or gospel tune that, near the end, has the soloist ad-libbing while the backup singers repeat the refrain. We also have melody. Melody is the most basic element of music. A number of definitions had been given to this element. Doria, 2012, defined it as the orderly succession of musical sound. In addition, melody can also be the timely arranged in a linear sequence of pitched sounds that the listener perceives as a single entity. Since there is the succession of single tones, it very likely that continuity of sequences sounds is achieved as well. Moreover, melody is produced and heard based on the tone duration and pitch. Melody can also be based upon the symmetry of pitch and rhythm, so these can help the unified tonality and metrical pattern. We have the last one, which is dynamics. This is considered as loud or soft range. When a musical composition containing extremely soft passages as well as extremely loud passages is said to have a large or wide dynamic range. Dynamics can change suddenly or gradually, like crescendo, getting louder, or decrescendo, getting softer. This time, we will move forward with combined arts. From the word itself, this kind of art blends with the combination of the performing arts like dance, drama, and theater. In this lesson, you will discover each one of these, and you will be able to appreciate their individual uniqueness. The first one is dance. Dance is formed when body has series of movements as they flow with the rhythm, most times with music. Dance functions in many ways. It expresses an idea, emotion, or feeling. It narrates a story or storyline. and gives pleasure or enjoyment to both the performer and audience. The movement of the body is a form of expression. It has been said that dance is the mother of art since it is the oldest form of art that actually a reflection on how humans express themselves in order to communicate their feelings and emotions. Human beings express joy, excitement, sadness, grief through dancing. In fact, they dance for almost all occasions in human affairs, from birth to the healing of the sick. Dance becomes a medium as explained by Fernandez in 2009, which uses time, energy and dynamics that help produce certain motion or movements. Moreover, how dance is defined depends largely on the different context of social, cultural, aesthetic, artistic, and moral. Dance is even presented in various settings, like it is shown as a form or religious or tribal activity, which it can be of ritual presentation, not just for entertainment. We will now have the elements of dance. The first one is music. This element is closely related to dance and plays a significant role. In dancing, music accompanies the movement of the dancer. Another one is movement. This refers to various body motions that express feeling and emotion. Our bodies move in ways to express ourselves using locomotor and non-locomotor movements. Another element is the theme. This refers to the whole message of the dance performed. The content of the storyline of the dance can be conveyed based on a particular set of dance movements. Next is energy. Energy is the force at which we express our body motions. Are you moving with hard motions or gentle motions? How do you choose to move? This time, we will talk about another type of a combined art, which is theater. Are you familiar with theater? Have you seen a theater performance? A theater is a combination of visual and oral arts from which feelings and emotions are expressed using the human body movement and voice. It becomes people's avenue for self-expression. It also reflects their life experiences and aspirations. Theater started with rituals and religious activities in the homes and community. The communal needs are expressed and performed in this form of art. What is theater? It comes from the Greek word theatron, which means a place for seeing, and theastai means to see. Theater is likened to life, where a performance is executed through space and time, rolled into one, witnessed by an audience. As an art form, theater engulfs a wide range of dramatic, musical, and visual presentations. It generally elicits emotional response and provides a vicarious experience to an audience. We now have the elements of theater. First, we have the plot. It is the sequence of events, but quite different in the story that we used to read, that requires linear actions. We also have music. Adding music to the acting performance on stage can suggest inner emotional state a character possesses. Aside from the fact that it gives tone to the mood, it also gives specific information to the audience. The last element is costume. Costume in plays is considered as the nonverbal element to consider as an important one. This includes the clothes, accessories carried by the actors and actress on stage that depict messages for the audience to understand. They become symbolic. The costumes being worn by the characters on stage are complementary theatrical elements that do lots of functions along with the character's personification delivered on stage. Aside from theater, we also have another form, which is cinema. Cinema can be called sometimes as film, moving pictures, and movies. Cinema nowadays is considered a familiar and popular form of entertainment. Like drama, the cinema as an art form involves acting. It is described as an art form that intends to present a story with scenes that are recorded. In this lesson, we have discussed about two different types of arts: the auditory arts and combined arts. We have also discussed the elements of music, dance and theater. Lastly, we have tackled about cinema or film. That is end of Unit 3, Lesson 1. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for Unit 3 Lesson 2. Goodbye.